Good morning and Jai Shri Krishna to everyone. I, Tanvi Saraya, on behalf of Team Drishtikon, would like to welcome you all to the 7th webinar of Drishtikon Talks. At Drishtikon, you all are aware, we have leading Bhatia personalities who come and share their ideas and views with us. We would like you all to get maximum value addition from these talks, and hence I would request you all to mute your mic and turn off the videos. Any question you may have may be answered will be towards the end of the webinar. In case there are any queries left unanswered, we shall assure that we shall respond those to you after the webinar ends. If you have any further queries, feedback, and suggestions, you can convey them to us by emailing us at drishtikon.talks@gmail.com. This webinar is being streamed live on our YouTube channel also. Our esteemed speaker for today is Ms. Seema Jerajani. I request Ankita Asher to introduce our speaker to us. Over to you, Ankita.
Thank you, Tanvi. Jai Shri Krishna and a very good morning. Today we have amongst us the founder of SVJ Academy for Hair and Makeup, Ms. Seema Jerajani. Seema Bain is a visionary and a trendsetter in the field of hair and makeup and has received the industry's most prestigious award, Hall of Fame Hair Artist of the Year. She holds an LCGI degree in hairdressing and makeup from leading academies in UK and other countries and brings over 3 decades of experience as she personally teaches professional hairstyling and makeup courses. She has written a book titled Art of Indian Coiffure, a book on Indian hairstyling, which is a must-have for all hairstylists and makeup artists. She has represented India in OMC Europe Cup Championship in hairstyling. She has also been a jury at the OMC Hair World Championship for hair and makeup in Paris. Seema Bain has done training programs, designed makeup looks, hair, and fashion shows for brands such as Crayolan, Schwarzkopf, Vella, L'Oreal, Nashi Argan, Naturals, Green Trends, Iconic, Lakme Unilever, Rafael's Designs International, India Intimate Fashion Week, and the IFA Awards as well. She is an inspiration to the younger generation for extraordinary work in the field of makeup and hair in India. Let's watch a short video about her, followed by her talk.
Hello, everybody. Jai Shri Krishna. Um, is the sound and everything fine?
Yeah, perfect. Please go on.
Okay, yeah. Right. Thank you, Team Drishtikon, for inviting me for this talk. And thank you to Ashish Bhatta, who introduced me to you all. And the team, I must say, has been so helpful to set up everything and to have these training sessions literally for me to be able to reach out to all of you. So thank you all for joining in. So as they've introduced me, I've been in this field last 35 years, and it's been a great journey. And it didn't start with something that I'm interested in, like hair and makeup and all that. That wasn't what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a CA to start with. But it so happened that the year my parents shifted, and instead of doing CA, because the classes were late in the evening, I decided that I'll have to find some other course or something else to be done. And that's how I went into beauty therapy. I didn't realize that I would reach literally this position. This is something so unexpected, beyond my wildest of dreams, and a beautiful journey. So I started with my beauty therapy and hairdressing in 1983. In 85, I started with my first job. Ever since, I've been studying. And I have reached what I never imagined. As I said, I authored a book. I've become a jury for the World Championship. And at the moment, I'm into education and teaching hairstyling and makeup. So I would like to share something about my book with you all to start with. There are many things lined up, so I have prepared a few PPTs for sharing with you all. So Prashant Bhai, if you can share the PPT on Art of Indian of yours.
Please go on, Seema Ben.
Yeah. Can it be a bigger slide? I mean, full screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So this is a book that I've authored, and it's very close to my heart because this is something which was very important to me. You see, when we talk about hairstyles and all that, it is Egyptian's hairstyle and Roman hairstyle and Greek hairstyle, but nobody talks about Indian hairstyles. So this is something that I wanted to bring out and share with the world. Prashant, is it possible for you to enlarge?
Yeah, I'll just enlarge it. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Let me just sort it out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is this okay? Is this right?
Yeah. Yeah. This is fine. This is fine.
Okay.
So if we can go on to the next slide.
Yeah.
So what was the inspiration for me for this book is our Sri Sri Radha Banabihari temple. So for those who have done the Girirayaji Parikrama, I think most Bhatyas have some point of time in their life done this Parikrama. There is a beautiful temple near the Kusum Sarovar. And this is where Krishna is combing Radha's hair. So if you see on the bottom, there is a golden colored comb, and Krishna is combing Radha's hair here. And Radha is looking into the mirror. She's looking not at herself, but she's looking at Krishna. And the emotion behind this is that whoever's focusing on Krishna, Krishna is serving you. Like he's giving you the service and his quality of humility. So it's so important. It's the bhav, you see, about the relationship between Krishna and Radha, the unconditional love and the devotion. So when I approached this temple, I told them I'm a hairdresser and I want this to be part of my book. And they said, obviously, the interest is because Krishna is combing Radha's hair. You see pictures, but you know, next time that you do the Giriraji Parikrama, do make sure that you go to this temple and see it. Next slide, please. So in this book, I've done referencing from our scriptures as well. So it's the beginning of time, like Brahma Samhita was the first text. And in that, you see that the text 37, Brahmaji had glorified the Supreme Krishna at the beginning of creation. And there's a mention of Chosat Kalai, the 64 arts. So Kala means, it can be dancing, drama, literature, or arts. And here there is a mention of one of the kalas being hairstyling. And also there's a reference from the Srimad Bhagavat, Canto 12, Chapter 2, where in the Kali Yuga it is said that the beauty is thought of depending on one's hairstyle. So it's been so important, the hairstyle being there from beginning of time to the end of time. So if you see, when we go to do the darshan of Srinathji, have you noticed that there is a braid, chotlo hoito? Yeah. So what is that? It is the representation of Swamini. So in the entire Swarup, it's the braid, it's the hairstyle that is the representation of the Swamini or the Radha Swarup. So hairstyle is a very important part, I feel, of one's life. Next slide, please. So my journey started actually about 20 years back. I had visited this temple in Vellore. And while I was seeing all these statues, the guide told me that, every statue has a different hairstyle. And it made me wonder. But I didn't do anything about it at that point of time. I don't think I could have written a book or anything about 20 years back. Of course, having had so many years of experience, and then when I decided, yes, I'm into education, I want to do something, share the knowledge, I started my journey going back to Vellore. And there I began to check out what is there. And this place inspired me the most, the temple in Vellore, which is about 200 kilometers from Bangalore. And I realized that when you see on the internet that there's hardly any hairstyles except for braids and buns, on Google search. So something needed to be done about it. Next slide, please. So my research started with, first I had to learn photography. It was important because as I decided I'm going to travel, it was important that I have a good camera and better skills in photography. And after that, I started with the museums in Mumbai, the museum libraries. Then I went to temples, forts in Delhi, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Kerala, Rajasthan. Also, there was an exhibition by the Archaeology Society of India in Delhi. They had a beautiful project. The exhibition showcased photos of sculptures and paintings of hairstyles over the centuries. So this gave me a very deep insight about everything for my project. There's also movies like Janak Janak Payal Baje, Amrapali, Mughal Azam, Navran, which had references from a lot of sculptures from the Ajanta Ellora caves. And it was very interesting to see what was done then and the kind of references that they had done. So the movies also inspired me. So it was the art, movies, everything that was an inspiration at this point of time in my research. Next slide, please. So in the photography, it was the sculptures, wall paintings, in our Kutch, the kind of walls that they do, this has been also used as part of the design in the book. Then paintings, door frames, anything that I could get my hands on to, click pictures so that I can use for the book. I've done that. So it was interesting. Next slide, please. So my first inspiration was from Devi. So I call this look Divanshi, which means the goddess within us. So it's Devi energy is there within all of us, and Devi is not something outside; it is within us. And this book, this look was something which fascinated me because of the kind of jewelry and everything that one could adorn in the hairstyle incorporated, and the ever so loving mother. So I created this look as a tribute to the invincible woman power. Next slide, please. So the inspiration was also from the sculptures. There were techniques like pinkers, buffos, braids, asymmetric buns, all these decorated with a lot of jewelry. I couldn't imagine how they were done at that point of time because they didn't have the kind of products and tools that we use today, but they did fantastic hairstyles. So this particular sculpture was the one which inspired me to do the cover page. And this is from the Chinnakeshava temple in Vellore. And I had the most beautiful model who was the MTV Model of the Year last year. Will be part of my project. And this is the cover page image. Next, please. So this is the Indian heritage. Now, if you see this beautiful look, it has it's quite a heavy beehive. Beehive is a buffo. Now, what happens is that people have been inspired by the European looks, thinking that a buffo is a French hairstyle. But if we see that our Indian sculptures, Indian temples, they all have this kind of hair. So what's important is that we look within and see our culture and our heritage and our tradition, which made me strongly believe that, yes, we need to give this to the world. Next slide, please. The inspiration also was from art. So the one on the left is Raja Ravi Varma's painting. So you can see this is the traditional Kerala hairstyle, which is in the modern society, it's known as a victory roll, which is done in fashion shows and everything. But this is our traditional hairstyle. Also from the movies is the Amrapali look, which is, of course, if you see the Vaijantimala look, I recreated that. Now, Amrapali was 500 BC. She was a dancer. Because she was most beautiful, she was made a court dancer until she met Buddha, and she became a Buddhist after that. So the story behind each look that was represented in the book. And I have covered the hairstyles from 500 BC till today's hairstyle, what is done like contemporary bridal hairstyles, covered in about 18 hairstyles. Next slide, please. So these are the Indian traditional hairstyles, the bridal hairstyles that are done. So makeup and hair was done by me. Next, please. These are contemporary hairstyles, the more modern hairstyles, which people are doing now. And next slide. So basically, it's a technical education in this, where there are 6 inspirational looks from the sculptures and the museums and art and movies and all that. And then there are 6 traditional hairstyles and 6 contemporary hairstyles. And this is step by step in English and Hindi, very easy to follow. If somebody has a background in hairstyling, they can easily follow the book. This was so important to me that because I find that a lot of people can't reach out to me to study here in Mumbai. So something like a book, presented this way, it can help people study no matter where they are. And often it's difficult for people to travel. So this book is an inspiration for hairstylists and makeup artists, for fashion designers, brides to be, for references, for the reference. and people who appreciate art and beauty. Next slide, please. So this is some pictures from behind the scenes. The whole thing was shot in my academy. So, the backdrop of the book, what I had done is I actually shot different places of in the temple, and then we got it printed on fabric. So those fabrics we used as backdrops. So it's almost looked like real, backdrop, as though we've done a shoot at the location. So this, if you see behind the scene, the backdrop picture is there. And it was a beautiful journey, a very interesting journey, because sourcing the models and, the clothes, the jewelry, everything according to the period that was represented in the look. Next slide, please. So this is basically a compilation of decades of my experience and my research to create a strong foundation and set a benchmark to empower and inspire the hairstylists and makeup artists. So in this photograph, if you see, the backdrop that there is, it was a picture which we got it printed on fabric and took a picture, photograph. Next slide, please. These are the reviews from people world over, hair artists. We couldn't share the video. I think there was a little problem sharing it from my side. Otherwise, I had planned some videos to show how the whole thing was made. So thank you, Prashant bhai. We can end the slide. Yeah. Right. Can we have the other slide also, the holistic beauty? I'd like to share that as well. And I prefer more interactive rather than just talking and explaining things. So if we can complete that slide as well.
Yeah, in a moment, I'll just get this going.
Sure. So welcome to all those who have joined in later.
Yes, Navin, carry on.
Sure, thank you. So while I do fashion shows, shoots, teaching, writing articles for magazines and everything, my approach to beauty on a personal level is a holistic approach to beauty. And I'd like to share something with you regarding this. Can we have the next slide, please? So when I talk about beauty, it's regarding body, mind, and soul. In body, it's exercise, your skin, your hair. At the mind, it's emotions and the subconscious mind. And at the soul level, it's meditation, prayers, and your karma. So all this make us what we are today. And that's what I think is real beauty. Next slide, please. So it's important to love your body. Loving your body is so important. And obviously, everybody is aware of what physical exercise is. I'm not going to touch those subjects where we don't need to. Breathing, overall image, which has become so important. As these times it's so important to have a good image. You have to be presentable for everything. It's like, if you have a choice between going to two shops, one is really well done and interiors are great, and one is shabby, you will definitely go to the one which is like really good, So the presentation is so very important. So our image is very, very important in today's date. Then your skin care, hair care, and body care. So I'm going to take up some of these subjects and talk about them. So first one being breathing. Now, beauty is a reflection of inner self. And I believe that breathing is very important. And this kind of breathing I'm talking about is a different method of breathing. So everybody is aware of pranayama, that's the yogic breathing. But what I want to share with you is a breathing technique where if you're upset, if you've got anger, if you've got any emotion that is negative and you want to kind of breathe it out, you can try that. So, well, this is the first time I'm just talking to camera. I've always had interactive sessions. So I'm finding it very odd to have a session this way because I generally ask the person to breathe with me and do this kind of exercise and all that. So if anybody wants to join me in breathing in that manner, do so. So when you take in a deep breath in, you breathe in the positive emotion. Like example, you want to breathe in peace. So when you're breathing in, you tell yourself peace. And when you're breathing out, you release anger, stress, whatever emotion that you want to release. So I find that if you do this for a few minutes, you'll find that the anger or the emotion, negative emotion that you have, it subsides. Because finally it's about balance, balancing our emotions, our thoughts and everything. So do try this technique. You know, as you breathe out your negative emotion, and as you breathe in your positive emotion that you want. You know, this is one of the techniques. Let's get into skincare. Where skincare is concerned, in these days, post-COVID, most people don't want to go to a salon. And my suggestion is that there are things that you can look after yourself at home, which will really take care of your skin and hair. So where skin is concerned, um, what you need to do is basically your face wash twice a day, morning and night. Avoid strong soaps because that dries your skin. It's important to moisturize the skin immediately after. So this is not just applicable to women. Today, even men look after their skin. So face wash followed by a moisturizer. And when you moisturize your face, it should not be on a dry skin. It should always be on a moist skin. थोड़ो पानी रहनु खपे skin पे जरे बार moisturizer लगाइए. And it's not just the face and the neck both need to be done. So you avoid necklines because otherwise it's the neck that gives away the age. So simple face wash and followed by moisturizer. If somebody has acne, it's important that their system has to be clean, you know, faces clean. And something as simple as multani mitti can be applied only on the pimples twice a day. So this is just easy, simple way of looking after the skin rather than trying experiments, you know, on the skin where at the moment you're not professionally having anything done. But basically, Bhatiyas have good skin, so I think we can do away with some home hacks. And if you all have questions, I can always answer them. Where hair is concerned, there are some things that I would like to definitely share with you. So one is the shampoo that you use. Shampoo always should be diluted. You know, it's 100% water, like 50% water and 50% shampoo. And you dilute it in one of your empty bottles, shake it up, and use only diluted shampoos. Because what most people do is you just wet the hair, take the shampoo in, and apply it. And most people apply it on the crown area. And that's where the thinning happens maximum. So my suggestion is if you can just bend the head down and work from the knee to the forehead, you know, in this manner. So since we have pollution, combing, everything is from front to back. So when you're looking after your hair, you're shampooing, brushing your hair, it needs to be from the nape towards the forehead. So dilute your shampoo before use. Second thing is when you're using a conditioner, always towel dry the hair and then you use your conditioner. Conditioner has to be applied at least 3 inches away from the scalp. So men don't need to do it. They can avoid the conditioner. For the ladies, better do it on the midlands and the ends. Also, when the hair is wet, it's important that you comb hair with a white tooth comb when it's wet, because that's the maximum the breakage can happen at this point of time. Next, the body care. So I'm not going into the body care unless somebody has any questions. I have written in the vertical line, I love and accept myself the way I am. So this is what is an affirmation, which one can tell oneself. What's most important is when you have to loving your body, is you have to learn to love and accept yourself the way you are. Next slide, please. So loving your skin, right? So I mentioned that you wash your face twice a day, moisturize. Yes, you can use a face scrub once in a week, but not on your acne. And a face pack once in a week. Face pack can be any natural mud. Generally, it's multani mitti, but you can make your own face pack from something like um, oats and dahi together, or just dahi on its own with a little bit of haldi, and you can apply it for 10 minutes and wash it off. There are homemade packs and recipes, I'm sure that most of you are aware of, but that can be done once in a week for care of your skin without having to go to any salons or parlors. It's not that I'm discouraging you, but at this point of time, a lot of people are concerned about going and having things done at the salons and parlors. And the affirmation for this is, I radiate inner beauty. We'll come to affirmations afterwards. Next slide, please. Yes, I'll come to the home remedies and the questions a little later. So I've already mentioned about the healthy hair. Shampoo should be diluted. It has to be minimum twice a week with diluted shampoo, gently drying the hair, and conditioners applied 3 inches away from the scalp. Comb with a white tooth comb. Scalp massage twice a week with or without oil. Some people have oily scalp, so you cannot massage with oil. However, it's like literally on the scalp, you place your fingers and you move the scalp against the scalp. So the whole thing can be just moving the scalp against the scalp, that kind of massage. It helps to relax your muscles and improve the blood circulation in the scalp. Then hair color and hair treatments, chemical treatments are best left to professionals. Somebody had a question on, okay, so I'll answer all these questions as I finish the presentation. Right, next slide, please. Okay, the next one is mind matters. So there are a lot of things that make a person beautiful. It's important not just the external beauty, it's what I believe is the internal beauty as well. So water, of course, we know that we have to drink a lot of water, at least 1.5 to 2 liters of water. And take out time for yourself. Next one is attitude of gratitude. In these days, it's so important that we should be thankful for whatever we have, and that will make us feel happy, more at peace, and that reflects on our internal as well as external beauty. And then the next one is affirmations. Affirmations are statements which are positive statements which you say to yourself or you can listen to. I've recorded a few affirmations, groups of affirmations which I have messaged. It's on WhatsApp. In case anybody is interested to listen to affirmations, it can be WhatsApp. I have shared it with the AMDrshtikon team as well. Then inspirational reading. A lot of books obviously are available. I'm sure many of you are aware of that. And power of positive thinking and positive mind. All these contribute to the internal growth and internal beauty. There's something like emotional freedom technique, EFT, neuro-linguistic programming, self-hypnosis, sound therapy, Reiki. All these are things which help you improve the inner beauty. Inner beauty is like, you can't describe it like in words, but it's about feeling good within. Next slide, please. So I wanted to share something with you about water consciousness. These are some photographs of water. Now, it's your thoughts that affect water so much. So there is one Dr. Masaru Emoto, who did a research, and on a single drop of water, he said the words, "Let's do it." And then and he froze this, and the water crystal had this form. So if you see that crystallization of water under the microscope, you see a beautiful crystal. Same way he did, using different words like "do it," "you fool," "peace," "thank you," "war." All these are different words that he used on water, and the crystallization was different. So if you see that just few words or our thought or music, all these things affect the water. And this water, which is what we drink or which is around us, realize that we have 70% water within us. So whatever our thoughts are, whatever our emotions are, it affects the 70% of the water within us also. So it's very important that we have positive attitude, like a positive mind. But this cannot, like, you, if the certain circumstances currently that are prevailing, you can't just have a positive mind or positive thoughts. Things could be quite bad. So I would not say have a positive thought, have a positive mind, but you can start working on yourself through the breathing technique. You know, your bottle of water, what you're going to drink, you can put a label success, you can put a label happiness, you can put a label of abundance, everything that you want to create for your life. You can do that labeling, and you can try it out. It has to be done over a period of time. There are a lot of videos on YouTube on by Dr. Masud. Check it out. It helps a great deal.
Seema, we can't hear you. There's can't hear your audio.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now it's back. Now it's back.
Yeah. Okay, so what I mentioned last was that there are some good YouTube videos, which one of them what I wanted to share with you, as I said.
Seema, there's a problem with the audio again, I think.
Okay.
It's just blurring up in between.
Oh, my internet seems to be fine. Can you hear me now?
Carry on.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's fine now. Carry on.
Okay. All right. Next slide, please. So these are affirmations, which I said that these are statements, which are positive statements, which you can listen to. It is a repeated listening of these positive statements that helps to kind of get registered at your subconscious mind, and that manifests things for you at the conscious level. So I don't know how many people, which one reflects now. Right, sorry, I saw the questions. So what I feel is that when we do these affirmations, they have to be statements which are in the present tense. Like, you see, example, if somebody's feeling sad, you can't say, "I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy." The mind is never going to accept it. But you can always say that I choose to be happy. You see, when you say a statement like that I choose to be happy, you'll find that you'll feel better about it. Because you can't change the circumstances immediately, but you can change your thought process. You can change your breathing, and that makes a difference. So I just listed out a few things like I trust the process of life, or I'm grateful for everything that I have. I choose to think positively. I deserve success and happiness. It's like, example, if somebody has a problem because of COVID and things are not that smooth, you can't say I'm successful and I'm happy. And so rather than saying that, I claim that I deserve success and happiness, or I choose to focus on my strengths. If you do these affirmations, you'll find that you feel calmer, and you feel better about things. Next slide, please. So at the soul level, it's karma, meditation, prayers, and chanting. I don't want to go into karma and meditation. I'm sure that all of you know about prayers and chanting. My affirmation for this is, I am blessed. Next slide, please. So beauty has nothing to do with the looks. It's how you are as a person and how you make others feel about themselves. And that is more important. Thank you. Yeah, Prashant bhai. Right. So I would prefer interactive, Prashant bhai, rather than just going through slides or talking about things. Can I take questions?
Seema Ben, this is Darshini here.
Yes, Darshini.
Yeah, it was, we should firstly thank you. Thank you so much, Seema Ben. What an excellent session. Here, I must say, excellence is not a skill, it's an attitude. And style is a reflection of one's attitude and personality. Seema Ben, your work brings out the best styles, creating the best personalities. As some famous stylists say, that you are transforming not just how a person looks, but also how he or she feels from within.
Right.
Please accept my sincere compliments for your work in the book, Art of Indian Coiffures, which is just beyond imagination. The detailing which you've gone into for, preserving the Indian hairstyles for future generations, I feel is remarkable. Your session today has got all of us thinking as to how one needs to go within and work on improving inner beauty. Key takeaways for our participants today are: learn to accept yourself with all your flaws. The affirmations, I radiate inner beauty. Affirmation, I love and accept myself the way I am. Learning is a lifelong process. Love yourself, love your body, and many more. Okay, Seema Ben, I think I will move on to a quick round of questions made by Team Drishtikon. Short and quick round, then we take up the questions from the audience.
Sure.
Are we ready? Shall we go ahead?
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Seema Ben, if not an educator or a hairstyling artist, you would be?
Healer.
Healer. Wow. That's really nice. Which is your best work or moment?
Which is my best?
Work or moment? Best work or moment?
It's a collection that I did, which was a Rudra collection, I call it.
Okay.
And it was based on Shiv Tandav Stotra. So when I heard the Shiv Tandav Stotra, it inspired me to do an entire collection of hairstyles, which I presented live on the stage.
Okay.
Generally we make a mood board and then plan hairstyles and all that. So in this, it was like the sound and, in the meditative level, if you can visualize Shiva, Lord Shiva in the Kailash, and it being dark and navy blue sky and mountains and his matted hair, from the whole stotra, I could visualize everything, and I just created a whole collection from that. And that felt so connected, that was one of my best that I filled out.
Yeah, how nice. How nice. It feels so nice to be connected to the Lord, or, to go spiritual and feel the inner happiness. I think that's what you're talking of, if I got you right.
Yeah, but that created 11 hair designs, which I created on the stage.
Very nice. Very nice, Seema Ben. The next one, we move on to the biggest mistakes clients make with their hair.
They try to do their own hair colors or cut their hair.
Okay. Okay. I think best is to leave it to stylists, these things.
Yeah.
Okay. Your favorite celebrity client?
I think Selena Jetli at that time, because now I don't do celebs anymore. I do Udita Goswami. I used to do them before, but now since 2012, I'm totally only into education.
moved on to
So I
education to pass
yeah,
on your,
no celebrity life,
knowledge
no.
and skills. Yeah,
Only study, only
that's
education.
a good vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you get a chance to style one person in the world, who would it be and why?
And one person, I never thought of that. Pass.
Okay, that's a pass. Okay, now this is a good one. Even though you're a celebrity stylist, you also must have had a very bad haircut. How old were you when you had the worst haircut ever? And what style was it?
Uh, it was the fringe. I was a teenager, early teens, and I decided to cut my own fringe.
Oh
So I
my.
took some hair from there, wet it, and I cut it. And what happened after it went dry? I had a fringe that short, literally 1 inch.
Oh my
It
God.
was the worst haircut, and I couldn't even hide it. But they, believe me, I had no inclination that someday I'll be a hairdresser. That was my worst haircut that I did. I often cut my own hair, but that was really bad. Most embarrassing.
So moving on to some more serious questions, Seema Ben. What preparations do you do to be a jury member at the World Championship? Because you were a jury at the recent World Championship. We want to understand what is the preparation you do.
Right. So I have been in the hairdressing field so many years and updating and educating myself year by year. Every year I am studying. And presently, since the last few years, I've been only studying under the World Championships, who are people who have won the World Championships over and over again. They've been my gurus. And so I've finished all my levels of World Championship. And after I released my book, that got me really noticed. And I was invited to be a world jury, World Championship jury. Now we have to give an exam for this. So there is, uh, online exam that we give, and we have to pass a certain percentage. Once we pass this exam, and we go to wherever the World Championship is, again a training program is made for the jury. And you won't believe, but like as a jury also we are marked. You can't just be a jury just because you have experience or you've studied or something. Like how in football they have a yellow card and a red card, and after which you get disqualified. Similarly, in the jury, as a jury, they see the kind of marking that you do, and the marking has to be in a certain range, because if your marking system is different from the average world championship juries, then you get a yellow card. That way, if you get 4 yellow cards, you get a red card. Now, all these things are so important that you don't get any of these disqualifications, because it's important for our country. Like as a jury for India, I don't want to have any of those yellow or red cards. So it's something which is a very responsible duty, uh, where it's the name of your country at stake. So it's a and the kind of we have to be so sharp and so fast, because sometimes there are like 100 people who are there, who are participating in the championship, and to give marks in a very short period of time, you have to know your job really well. It was a beautiful experience.
That's so nice. I must say that it's an honor to have you with us, because it is so beautiful to know that you were there on the jury. So moving to the next thing, Seema Ben, I have something about your academy.
Yeah.
All your courses at SVJ Academy are short-term intensive courses. Any
Yeah.
specific reason for that?
Yes, I have based the courses on the systems followed in UK. Basically, they have modules of 6 days each, 5 days each. But I have taken inspiration from that and designed them for 6-day modules here, according to the levels of education. Like example, like first, second, third standard. Similarly, I have different levels of courses. This is to facilitate students to come and study with me according to the time and the budget they have. Because professionals may not be able to get leave, more than a week or so, or they may not have a budget. But each course, is so designed that even having done one course, one is able to start with working, earning their money. When they save, they can come back for their next class. So it's easier for them to plan their education and do it, piece by piece also. It facilitates students for time and money both.
That's very thoughtful. That's really thoughtful, Seema Ben. Must compliment you for that.
Thank you.
We have a question from Kishori Bhatia, starting some questions from the audience.
Sure.
What should be applied on face for skin pigmentation and dark spots?
Skin pigmentation and dark spots, basically, if now it depends on what is it, because of if it's the sun or whether it's hormones, it depends on that. One can use papaya or santro, orange. So if you can just take a piece of papaya, mash it, apply it on your face, keep it for 10 minutes and wash it off. But this needs to be done over a period of time, which means every single day for at least 6 weeks to see the difference. There are processes like skin peels and all that, which one can go to a dermatologist for doing it. But if it's not too much, you can try this home remedy, which is also effective. It's slow, but it's effective.
Thank you. Thank you. One question is, what shampoo do you suggest for kids?
Definitely not the baby shampoo, because I find that is very drying and very strong. So whatever the shampoo you're using, dilute it with much more water, rather than 50% water, let it be about 70% or 80% water and less of shampoo, and apply such diluted shampoo on the children.
The next question is from Ashish Bhakta. There is a method of making some points on your hand, which you had mentioned once for good health. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, basically, I think that's to do with reflexology is what he perhaps is suggesting. So just like on our feet, we take a foot massage and there are these reflex points on the foot. Same thing, it's there on the hands and so on the face. So every organ of the body, there's a connection on the face, on the hands, on the feet, even the ears. If you see, the shape of the ear is like a baby in the womb, like the head. This is the spine, and like how the baby is in the womb. So all your acupressure points are there also on the ear. If you just massage the ear for like 2 to 3 minutes, you're activating everything within the system. Similarly, it's the hand, rubbing it and kind of pressing and giving massage in the hands is doing the same job. So it's activating the organs within and kind of energizing yourself. So this can be done.
The next question is from Kalpesh Bhai Sampat. Do you advise coloring for premature graying of hair?
See, for men, if you have to do coloring, it's going to be very, very often, which is because the growth is going to show up. So it depends on the age group of the person. If the person is in their 30s and 40s and wishes to color, but you'd have to do a root touch-up kind of every 3 weeks. And if you can like kind of, okay to go gray, it's better to go gray, especially for the men, because otherwise it's a bother and you'll find that, half hair is gray and half is black, and that doesn't really look nice professionally. Luckily for me, this period of close down, lockdown has helped me just to grow out my hair. I took this opportunity to stop coloring my hair.
Yeah. I guess each one of us had this wonderful time of being at home to take care of ourselves.
And being yourself just the way you want. Yeah.
You're right.
It's a reset for all of us, the Mother Earth and all of us.
Yeah, you're correct. Okay, the next question is from Ankita. Please suggest some remedies to avoid hair thinning.
See, the hair thinning can be because of wrong shampooing also, or putting conditioner on the scalp. It can be lack of vitamins, your iron, the B complex. There's something called biotin. So if you can have some multivitamin tablets also. I find that, methi that we eat, you can do sprouted methi, fungaili methi panchajan. So methi sprouts also helps, which needs to be taken about a spoonful on a daily basis.
It has to be consumed, is it?
Yeah. It goes very soft. You can just eat it raw.
That's nice. That's a good suggestion. The next question is from Preeti Ben Asar. Do we use conditioners while shampooing oiled hair? And these days, onion juice is recommended. What is your advice?
Right. Now you need to understand that shampoo is alkaline. So the pH balance goes, the hair gets drier. And a conditioner is nothing but balancing the pH. So a conditioner is acidic. So which is why we use a shampoo with a conditioner just to balance the pH. So it's recommended to use a conditioner. And onion seeds, yes, it's getting very popular. I don't know, it's a fad or something that has been there since a long time, but even I'm trying it out.
Okay. No, but do we have to use the conditioner each time you shampoo your hair?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want that softness.
Next question is from Ajay Bhai. Does your advice on hair apply to males and females equally? Is hair transplant a genuine process, and is it advisable?
It depends on how much of hair is there or not there, and what's your age group. It depends on that. And it may be a repeated process. So if you decide to do it, you check with your doctor whether you need to do it more often, or is it just a one-time process. It will depend absolutely on your growth. So you need to communicate correctly with your doctor and understand the pros and cons about it. What they recommend, because it depends on the growth, the age group, and everything according to that.
Okay, so that is best left to the doctor and
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is from Shania. Who inspired you to become a hairstylist?
My mother.
Okay.
I wasn't interested in hair and beauty at all. I never used to bother combing my hair. I never liked makeup. So she decided to put me in this beauty school that she said, "Chokri jadi ro, ane pote ji dhyan rakh, ane makeup ne mara sak." It was like that. So she was the one who said that you need to be, well groomed and look after yourself. So this is what she started me on beauty. But I found beauty a little boring. It was very repetitive. And when I joined my hair school in 1985, I found that it was so interesting because every day I would have to find somebody and learn a new haircut or a new color. And no day was same. It was always something new, something different. So that really inspired me to explore it more and more.
Wow, very nice. But as they say, the best education happens at home. So it all started with your mother inspiring you to take it up, and it went to the school. So really, really nice to know that, Seema Ben. Another question from Preeti Asar. Does hair color aggravate hair fall for women?
Yes.
It does?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's better we avoid coloring hair as much as possible, is what you say, or?
See, it depends on the percentage of grays. So if the percentage is low, you can just do some highlights, which doesn't touch the scalp. In that case, it's okay to do the color because you're not touching the roots, So, but again, as I said, it depends on the age group and all that. So, like somebody like my age group, we need to do it. Like professionally, I had to do it. So I used to do it, but I got this chance to stop coloring. I prefer to stop coloring. Maybe just once in a while, a green or a purple or something like that.
Green or a purple, wow. I guess the industry demands so.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, we have a question from Maitri Asher. Does moisturizer aggravate pimples?
It depends on the moisturizer. So if you're using something like aloe vera gel, there's no aggravation. But if you're using a moisturizer which has products, which is meant for a normal or a dry skin, then that would aggravate pimples in a oily skin.
There's another question. What to do if there is hair fall due to hard water? Suggest home remedies.
For hard water, not that. I guess that if you just look after it right from your shampooing, conditioning, or oiling your hair and having your nutritious diet, then that kind of takes care. I believe in the coconut hair oil massage. So that kind of neutralizes the problem created by the hard hair and the hard water.
Yeah, the very old traditional method of taking care of our hair is coconut oil.
Not that jumpy, like kind of, I would suggest,
A
moving
mild
the scalp
massage.
against the scalp. Yeah, so that it improves your circulation and relaxes your head muscles.
Opens up the pores, I guess, for yeah.
Oil does go within, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I have a question for you, Seema Ben. What is your opinion of hair education in India?
You see, when I started, it was something which was, people wondered, why am I doing hairstyling? Or, it's like, that kind of a thing. The attitude was very different then. I was lucky to have a good teacher. But today, the education has opened up so beautifully that we can select going in for proper profession in hairdressing, in beauty therapy, makeup artists. It is so varied, it's so open that everybody and anybody can be part of this profession. It is basically a skill, a vocational skill, and something which can be done anywhere. Like example, if I'm traveling, wherever I travel, people say, do you have your scissor on you? Can you give a haircut or something? So it's something where you can carry with you. You can set up at any point of time, whether you're in this country, another country, whatever. But there's lots to it, education, and it's a very satisfying profession because at the end of your service, you see the smile on the face of the client.
Right.
So I think it's a beautiful profession to be. Very creative, very innovative. There's a lot of change, lots happening. It's very happening, very hardworking though, because we have to stand 8 hours a day at least minimum. Like sometimes when I have the fashion shows and all that, or we're doing shoots, I'm standing almost 10 to 12 hours a day.
I guess however big the celebrity is or however big the person is, one needs to trust you totally, because you are at the end of it make the person feel the most beautiful, or I think the way he or she feels about himself from within.
Yes, it's very true.
So it's a lovely profession. I'm sure it will open up a lot of avenues for the youngsters or
there is so many specializations now. See, earlier there was beauty as a profession included makeup, hair, everything. Now you could be a specialist only in skin, only in hair cutting, or a specialist only in hair coloring. So there is a lot of diverse things, whether you could want to be a chemical specialist or, which aspect of it you want to get into. Like I have chosen now, after all these years, I am only doing hairstyling, upstyling, and makeup. These are the two subjects. And slowly, I've just reduced the number of subjects that I'm working with, because then there's so much of ultra specialization in this field. And you can do right from brides, home visits, to brides coming in. You can have your own salon. You can work on photo shoots, advertisements, films. There is a big scope of, the kind of work that you can decide that you want to do. So one can be a session hairstylist or a bridal hairstylist. There's so many diverse things and super specializations coming up even in hair, the field of hair and beauty.
Yeah. On that note, but do you allow your students at the academy to experiment or, to break the rules or do something new or different?
Yeah, it starts with understanding and learning the rules. First, you learn your rules. And after that, once you understand the systems and everything, the levels, when they go on the fourth level, which is the editorial and avant-garde, then you break all the rules. So unless you break the rules and you experiment and try out something new, how are you going to learn to experiment and to do new creations? So I have a system which I follow to make each person creative, and that is through a mood board or something. You know, for their research, then they create a mood board, and from that they do the designs for the styles, and then actually create it on a model. So there's a whole system to make a person creative, because we feel, most people feel that, no, I'm not creative, or the other person is creative. So I have devised a system where each student can understand the technique, and when they do the application of these techniques within the framework and outside the framework, and that's how it makes them a creative person.
One question from the participants. Question from Pragna. Your advice for dark circles?
See, dark circles basically, according to reflexology, is the kidney zone of our body. So no amount of your creams is going to help you. Like people say dark circle, this cream will help, and this, it doesn't. So the water intake has to be balanced. But just a gentle micro massage, which is something like this kind. And the third one is palming. So which means you rub your hands, make them warm, and place it on your eyes. So that will relax the muscles around the eyes. That is important. So also when you're all the time, like a lot of us are on the computer, it's important that every 20 minutes for 20 seconds, look away, at least 20 feet away or somewhere, which is to change the focus. It relaxes the eyes, and then you just rub your hands. So all these things are what will affect your, help you with the dark circles. Like I have a lot of late nights because I do my studies, research, everything in the night, but I don't have any dark circles. So it's purely because of these things, the way I look after it. But no creams will help really. It just helps you moisturize it, but not overcome the dark circles.
I guess that answers the question. Last couple of questions, Seema Ben.
Yeah.
One would be, what changes have you witnessed in the industry post-COVID?
It's about 35% of the salons have closed down.
Mm-hmm.
Most women have learned to cut their husband's hair with a clipper. People are still scared to go to salons, though there may be very good levels of hygiene levels and their, care about disposables and everything. But there's still a lot of hesitation, so it has affected the work quite badly. I'm sure people will overcome, but people who are not able to sustain in the business because of not having a capital, all that business is closing down. So we've had a lot of suicides also in our profession, unfortunately. But like everything else, it'll come back, it'll bounce back with more care about hygiene and sanitization and sterilization processes, because that has now become part and parcel of the profession.
Yeah, right. It has to come back. It has to come back.
It will.
So one last question, Seema Ben. Today's last question for the day. Your advice to aspiring stylists, and please do share one success mantra with all of us.
Yeah. Don't expect big name fame money in the first 2-3 years. There's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of learnings, a lot of practicing. You have to be open to doing all the work, because see, as a hairdresser, you cut hair, we have to do the cleaning also. झाड़ू कटने पर सरस आवड़नु खपे, हकड़ो hair पण जमीन ते न आवड़नु खपे. So it's not just cutting the hair, it's everything before and after, looking after your client, the service, all that is important, whether it's makeup or hair. The hygiene and sanitization and sterilization and all these are the new ways of working now, which for me, because I've studied the way I've studied in UK and all that, those systems were already there with me. A lot of people have now started doing that. So it's patience, perseverance, practice, and continuous education is what's most important in this field. And I think that's my mantra I feel I can share with you. It's patience, perseverance, practice, practice, and practice.
Patience, perseverance, and practice. Those three words we take from you today. I guess the test for any stylist, the ultimate test is when the client is sitting on the chair. I guess that is what we take away from you. And thank you so much for being there with us. It was wonderful interacting and learning so much from you, Seema Bain.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Darshini. And thank you, Team Drshtikon. It was wonderful experience for me also to be part of this.
Very, very nice and insightful to be talking to you, Seema Bain. Now, moving to the audience, hoping that all our participants have enjoyed this Wonder Woman series. On behalf of Team Drshtikon, I thank our speaker, Seema Jerajani, for giving us such an insightful session and an educative session to look at beauty from within and to feel beautiful from within, of course, looking beautiful from outside. I also thank a very patient and interactive audience for their participation in the webinar. This webinar was streamed live on YouTube on our channel, Drshtikon Talks, and will be available for reviewing and sharing with friends and family. The questions that were unanswered during the session are well noted and will be responded by us through email. One suggestion I had that we have been sending mails to the audience and the participant, and please check your promotions or spam mails in case you have not been receiving it from us, because we've been sending mails regularly after each webinar with the unanswered questions. For any further questions or suggestions, please feel free to mail at drshtikon.talks@gmail.com. drshtikon.talks@gmail.com. Our next session will be on the 6th of September. Please be with us. Join us for our next session on the 6th of September. That was Seema Jerajani from SVJ Academy. And so here I am, Darshini Morparia, along with team members Tanvi Saraya and Ankita Asher, on behalf of Team Drshtikon, signing off from this session today. Until next time, goodbye and take care. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.